which is really, really good. So thank you. So I don't know if you have introduced yourself. So I know your nickname is Victor and your official
Yes.
name is Pushpak. So what do I call you, Victor or Pushpak?
You can call me Victor. That's fine.
Okay, good. So did you already introduce yourself, Victor?
Yes, I gave a little bit of introduction, but I was not sure if people can hear me. So I can introduce once again so that at least like more and more people can know that what sort of profile I am coming from and what sort of questions I can answer for them tonight.
Yes, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, just to let you know, Victor is in New Zealand now. It's already 10 o'clock. And first of all, thank you very much. You had been so flexible in adjusting your time and being live with us to just help our audience. So, I really appreciate your help. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
My pleasure. My pleasure, Sarika. Thank you very much. All
Okay.
right, guys. So I will introduce myself. My name is Pushpa Gai. My nickname is Victor, and I have studied in New Zealand and I've lived here since 2002. And I'm a New Zealand citizen, so been here for a good enough time so that I can answer your questions. And since last more than a decade, I have been practicing immigration law, and I've been I come from a background of teaching. I used to teach international students, the people those used to like students, those who used to come from different parts of the world. So I used to be a teacher in New Zealand, and I did I started this immigration consultation since 2011. So we deal with all sort of applications. So I will be able to answer a lot of questions related to maybe life in New Zealand, about jobs, how to find jobs, about houses, about rentals, about places, about immigration policies. If you want to know about the society, what sort of expenses are here, anything. So I'm from the base and I'm from the battleground. So I understand that a lot of people want to migrate, and New Zealand is a great country, and there are three top countries for migration: Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So today, my goal is to answer as many queries as I can. And we can talk about skill migration. We can talk about three policies, which Sarika did a fabulous video about. And I can explain you about the direct work visa, how you can get a direct work permit for New Zealand, as well as if you have any questions about your profile, then please, Sarika is the boss here. So you can ask us the questions, and I'll be here answering your questions tonight.
I'm not the boss at all. Yeah. Let me tell you. I'm just trying to help people with the question, and I thought you were the right person to answer. That's why I brought you as a special guest. So, Victor, if
Thank
you don't
you.
mind, can we just little start with the types of the visa, not all the types of visa categories. So, my audience, they are either they are a working professional or they are students. So
Yeah.
I have students and a working professional in my group who like to migrate to New Zealand or abroad as well. And I know you cover a lot of other countries as well, but today's topic is New Zealand. So, from your knowledge, can you just tell us quickly overview of types of visa categories where people can migrate directly with a work permit or without a work permit, or the new announcement which has happened, and then we can start taking questions from the audience.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Sarika. So today we'll be categorizing our discussion and the visa categories into two bigger aspects. One is the visa entry with a job offer, and the other one is a visa a direct migration without a job offer. So a lot of people, they don't understand the immigration policy, or they are not aware of that. That New Zealand does give permanent residency from overseas. It means if you're sitting in India or any other country, there is a policy called skill migration category, and under the skill migration category, with 100 points you can enter the pool. But the selection earlier used to happen at 140 points, and recent selections before the lockdowns, before the COVID, they were happening at 160 points. So we have done many applications successfully from India without job offer as well. So that is the first policy I would like to put some light on. Every country, even if you talk about Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all these countries, they analyze applicants on the basis of settlement factors. And settlement factors are how good you are to come to the country and settle down, find a job, and have a life. So what they check and how they analyze your settlement factors, they are on the basis of your age, your qualification, your work experience, how good you are in English, as well as if you already have a job offer in the country, if you've studied in the country, and number of experience you carry, and if you have any relatives in the country. So these are the basic parameters. If we talk about New Zealand, they have, if you're sitting overseas and if you don't have a job offer, then the options are, we can claim points for your age. And first of all, I would like to mention here, New Zealand is the best country to welcome and to consider the people those who are above 40 years of age. If you talk about any other country, you lose a lot of points if you are touching the age of 40. But in New Zealand, the good news is up to the age of 55, you can apply for permanent residency. So we can get 30 points maximum for the age, and for qualifications, we can get up to 70 points. And we get bonus points if you have if you're married and if you have a spouse and the spouse has done a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, you can claim points for that as well. And for the work experience of maximum 10 years, we can claim up to 50 points. In New Zealand, we don't have points for English, but you need to have 6.5 bands of English to qualify for the direct migration under the skill migration category. So this is for the people, those who have experience, and they can calculate the points. Sarika, as we discussed, and I shared the link with you. So the point indicator is a good tool to figure it out how many points you can claim. And we can offer a free assessment to your listeners and your watchers as well. And they can work out their points and see if they are scoring around 150, 160 points. It's a good idea to explore this visa opportunity. The whole family can be put together into one application for the permanent residency directly from India without a job offer. So that's the first policy. The second policy, which we spoke about, the three new categories. All these categories are concentrating accredited employers. So I would like to mention something here and explain a little bit about this policy of accredited employer. Accreditation is something which are approved employers or high caliber employers, those who have good record with immigration as well as with the labor department. Earlier, only reputed companies, huge companies with more than 50 or 60 employees, they used to get accreditation. But recently, Immigration New Zealand has made the accreditation compulsory. So when they made it compulsory, now it means that there are two types of accreditations. One is standard accreditations. If an employer want to hire an overseas worker up to 5 employees, they can get standard accreditation. And if an employer is looking to hire more than 5 employees, then they have to go for a high volume accreditation. So this is a good news for the people, those who are sitting in India. It means that immigration is welcoming international workers. I take a pause. Are you listening? Or are you guys sleeping now?
I have a question, Victor. So
Yes.
on the first one, when you said about the skill migration, so this was stopped during the COVID time due to the backlog. So have they already started it, or when are they planning to start?
The policy was not stopped. The policy is still active. We are still lodging the EOIs. Okay, expression of interest we can still lodge, and only the selections are halted for the moment because there was a huge backlog. But
Okay.
recently, what happened is Immigration New Zealand on 29th of September 2021, they made an announcement that 165,000 people will get the direct residency. So that whole backlog was cleared because of this policy. So now it's a refreshed sort of a policy, and there is no backlog. And now this policy will be announced, like will be open again for the selections. And selections are every fortnight, so which is a good thing. And this policy is open. We can still lodge the application. Anyone can go and check their points, and they can Google expression of interest for SMC, skilled migration category.
SMC. Yeah. Okay.
Skilled migration category.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, before Victor moves to the other category, so I want to let you know, if you are, whichever country you are, by the way, Victor, I have audience not only from India, I have people from South Africa, Kenya, and Africa, and Bangladesh, Pakistan as well. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you think you want to move to New Zealand, and to move to New Zealand that Victor was talking about, skill migration category, you don't require a job offer from them. Yeah, based on your skill sets, like your I don't know, not age, but your skill set, degree, and qualification, you can still, if you manage to get those points, you can submit your application, which is called expression of interest. This is what I understood, Victor, right? So if at all you guys are interested, what I'm going to do is, once we are live with this video and I'm going to upload it, I'm going to put Victor's details, whichever details he wants to be contacted, either email ID or phone number. I'll provide it in the description, video description. You can check it out and you can reach out to him if you want to contact him or put forward your application with his expert guidance. Okay. Fair enough. So the second point, which he mentioned about, there are three categories which was announced recently, which was straight to residents, work to residents, and highly paid residents. So we started talking about the aggregated employees. So by the way, do you have a list of now aggregated employees? Like how much is the list in the UK? The UK government already published that on the website. So I know at the moment there are more than 46,000 employees who are licensed employees who can sponsor visa. So for aggregated employees in New Zealand, do you have a place where people can go and see, okay, these are the companies who are licensed or aggregated, and where they can look at their careers page if they want to move with the second category?
Yep. So the accreditation, as I said earlier, the accreditation policy is not a new policy. So under the old policy, a lot of companies were accredited, and you are absolutely right. The same way, there was a list which is published, and you can still Google it, and you can look up the accredited employers in New Zealand, and you can find them. But that list is outdated, and it's gonna be removed now, because the new, like earlier, it was not mandatory. Anyone could have a sponsored international or migrant worker under the essential skills visa category. But now, under the new policy, most of the employers, those who want to hire a migrant worker, they will be accredited, and it is a process which is recently launched. So they haven't decided, or they haven't launched a site at the moment, or a list at the moment hasn't been published, but they are working on it, and more employers every day we are getting approvals for the accreditation. So I would like to put a little bit more light on that, because that's a positive and a good news for our Indian market, and it's a good news for the migrant workers. So this policy has three stages. The first stage is applying for the employer pass, basically accreditation of the employer. So there are some declarations and some details about the employer and the financials of the employers. So they want to check the employers, and dodgy employers will be prohibited, or they will be blacklisted out of this accreditation policy. So employers needs to prove that they have a good record, and they keep a good relationship with the immigration as well as the labor department, and they haven't made any losses in the last 2 years. So then only they can prove that they are passed and they can hire a migrant worker, basically. So accreditation at the moment is easily achievable. A lot of companies are getting accredited. And the second stage of after that is called job check stage. So we have already started working and applying and getting approvals for the job check. So under the job check, employers are advertising the position for at least 14 days. And after that, they can put the job description in front of the immigration. And like we are doing that work for them. And the job check, as soon as that's approved, then employers can start giving job offers to international workers. So in the next few months, we will see a lot of people, a lot of employers basically having accreditation and job check ready with them, and they will be aggressively looking for the migrant workers. So a lot of people, I saw that, from my experience, a lot of people think it's really hard to get a job from overseas, but now it's going to change, because even small employers looking up to 5 employees, they will be given a green signal to hire somebody from overseas.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. Okay. Okay, so anything else you want to add on the announcement regarding the three categories?
Yep, for the three categories, like straight to residence, as you have rightly said in your video, that all of these policies require a job offer. So if, like, New Zealand is famous for their lack of skills which they are experiencing, or other countries are also experiencing acute skill shortage for engineering and for teachers. Early childhood teachers are in huge demand here, as well as medical professionals. After the pandemic, everybody wants to get people. The good news for migrant workers and the bad news for New Zealand, I would like to mention here, we have to get into the reason why this policy has been introduced now, why New Zealand is getting more people from overseas, and why they're opening up their borders and letting people come in. Because a lot of brain drain is happening from New Zealand to Australia right now. New Zealand is losing a lot of people to Australia, because there is a back route, I would say. If somebody comes to New Zealand, a lot of people come here to study, and after the study visa, they apply for a work permit, and then they apply for permanent residency. And after getting their passport from New Zealand, then they do not need any visa to enter Australia.
Mhm.
Basically, they can take New Zealand passport and walk into Australia, and they can buy a house there, they can have a job over there, they can live permanently over there, basically.
Oh, with the New Zealand passport,
Passport.
you can work even in
You can
Australia.
do whatever. You can do whatever. You will be treated at par as an Australian resident. Only few things which you will be deprived of. You will not be able to vote, and basically that's it. And you
Oh,
will not be able to get the benefits from the government, unemployment benefits for the 2 year period.
yeah,
Rest, your kids can get free education. They can go to university. No
yeah.
problem. You can do business. You can do jobs. You can take home loans. Everything.
Oh, now I understand why. Mm. So, guys, this is the golden opportunity for you guys. If you want to move to New Zealand, this is the time. There are plenty of opportunities. And if you are still thinking about it, I believe you should take action now rather than giving a lot of things. Just give a try. Maybe you'll be lucky. And once you are in New Zealand, you get the New Zealand passport, like Victor was explaining, you can move to Australia as well. Yeah. The opportunities will open. There are plenty of opportunities. Okay, Victor, do you want to add something, or should we go through the questions? Because I see there are plenty of questions from the people, and then we can maybe, while
No.
taking the question, we can add more points to it as you think. Yeah.
I think we can take the questions and we can just move from there.
Okay.
Let's take the
So,
questions.
first of all, guys, I have not read the questions at the top. So, if of course we have not taken any questions so far, if you can start putting copy paste your question at the bottom, I'll start picking up from the bottom. So, the first question I'm going to pick up is from Bharat. Is saying, is IELTS required for jobs in New Zealand? If yes, what is the last cutoff? Victor, any?
So, question about IELTS, it's 6.5 bands is required to get the migration in New Zealand. 6.5 bands basically, and there are different IELTS scores are required for different jobs. If someone is coming here to work as a teacher, like secondary teacher or primary teacher or early childhood teacher, then they need to score 7 each. If someone is coming here to work as a nurse, they need 7 each. So it all just depends which sort of occupation, what sort of occupation you are targeting. But for rest of the managerial or IT occupations, 6.5 bands overall is required.
Okay, thank you, Victor. So I'm going to take a question from Ayush. Ayush is saying, I have 6 years of experience with NZI, IAG, underwriting insurance clients based in India. How can I get a work visa there? So I believe Ayush, like Victor was explaining, you can check your assessment. You can do your assessment with Victor to see if you qualify for the skilled visa category or not. Right, Victor?
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, Sarika, I would like to say something for the audience.
Yes.
Before we can give you a concrete answer, what we need to know is your age, your qualifications, your work experience, and the same thing about your spouse. So, we need to understand these things. Then I'll be able to tell you exactly what is the best option for you. And we'll give you a very much like transparent black and white option, which will be easily verifiable and the best for you.
Thank you. So there's a question from Let Me Make It Simple is asking, in IT, what should be the expected salary for 10 years experienced person? So I will say just go to Glassdoor. Glassdoor, go and change the location as New Zealand. Put your role there. It will tell you the average salary in New Zealand for that particular role. And if at all you're targeting any city, you can give the name of the city and you can see, as simple as that. And with the average, it can be plus or minus based on your experience and based on the market going rate. So you can definitely. Victor, do you want to add anything?
Yes, I can add something. Most of the people, what we suggest them to do is there is a website called seek, seek.co.nz. You can go on seek.co.nz and you can create your profile and set the job alerts. And every day you will get, or every 2 days, whatever job alert you want to set, you will get automatically email with the jobs in your inbox, and you'll be able to see. And if you really want a better idea than that, because that's a very good idea when you're getting the job postings on your email and you can see the salary they're offering. But at the moment, to be honest with you, IT professionals in some of the job posting which I have seen, employers have started advertising daily rates. Daily rates means $550 to $850 a day.
Okay, thank you. Um, so next question I'm going to take is from SS Channel is saying, is there any age limit for teaching job?
No, there is no age limit. For the residency, there is a limit of 55 years of age, but for a teaching job, there is no age limit.
Thank you. Victor, next question is from Rosemary. I don't know if you know the answer. What about healthcare assistants IELTS score? She's saying 5. Do you remember for healthcare
Yeah,
assistant?
yeah. Healthcare assistant can come here and work even at 5 band score, but that's a very low profile and the skill level 4 occupations. So yeah, the New Zealand is asking for healthcare assistants to come here and work. So if you have a job offer and your employer is happy with your IELTS score, you can come and work under this category at a lower score.
Okay. Victor, I heard somewhere that New Zealand, they launched a different visa category for healthcare assistant jobs. Is that correct?
Definitely, it is a basically for medical professionals. They have launched earlier. I don't know which period you are talking about, but earlier when the borders were closed, they opened up a critical purpose visa for the medical professionals and healthcare assistants to enter the country.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the borders were closed, they were coming here on the critical purpose visa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is called critical purpose visa.
Yes, critical purpose visa.
And that is still active now.
It's now the borders are open, so that visa is not anymore there.
Not anymore. Uh-huh. Okay.
Because it was when the borders were closed, not other people were not able to enter. That time this visa was very popular.
Okay. Thank you. So, Rishabh, I'm reading your question. So, you're saying I carry an experience of 12 years, currently working as project management, last 2 years, and prior to that, 10 years experience in telesales, field sales, bank, and corporate sales. My New Zealand chances. Like we already said, Rishabh, you will have to do your calculation whether you achieve those points or not, and Victor can help you. In terms of that calculator Victor was talking about, after this session goes live, I'll put that link in my video description, and or I may also pin it in my comment so you can go and check it out, and what points you may get, you can check it, or you can take guidance from Victor as well.
Yeah,
Victor,
I can just mention something so that the audience can have some idea about the system and how they can claim the points. So
yeah.
up to the age of 39, people can claim 30 points. And if you have a bachelor's degree, you can get 50 points. If you have a master's degree, you can get 70 points. And for experience up to 10 years, you can get 50 points. For your spouse, if your spouse has a bachelor's degree, you can get 10 more points, 10 bonus points, I would say. And if your spouse has a master's degree, you can get 20 bonus points. And if your experience is in the absolute skill shortage, there is a long-term skill shortage list. So if your experience falls under the long-term skill shortage list, which is called absolute skill shortage list, then you get 15 bonus points if you have 6 years or plus experience. It means if you are a civil engineer or a mechanical engineer, you get a bonus 15 points on the top of 50 points which you have claimed for 10 years of experience. So you get 15 bonus points for being for having experience in the absolute skill shortage list. So these are the basic points, and if you just add these points, you will see that okay, 160 is achievable. And if somebody is available here in the country, or if you have a job offer, there are two types of points which you can claim for the job offer. So the standard points for the job offer is 50. It has to be a skilled employment. And you get 80 points if your job offer is outside Auckland region.
Thank you, Victor. So I believe there was a question, someone from civil engineer and mechanical engineer as well. I believe Victor has covered it all together. So you know if you are part of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and it is in absolute shortage list of New Zealand. So you already get a bonus. And then if you have experience, you already have a master's or BTech, you already will get those points plus based on your age as well. So I believe you should definitely try if you are in this category, guys. Okay. So Rishabh, don't copy paste your question. I have already taken it. So there are so many questions. Same question from Rishabh. I have taken it. I'm going to take one question from Asad. Asad is saying, I'm a MPhil Maths 2021 and I have also done MBA from UK 2012, age 38. Please guide. I'm from Pakistan.
That's fine. The policy remains same for everyone, and we
Thank
did
you.
a few visas for Pakistan citizens, and no problem at all. The same policy, the same thing is applicable to you.
Thank you, Victor. One very interesting question, and I have no idea about it. So Anuradha Bhutani is saying, any scope for commercial pilot? Did the CPL from, oh, CPL is some kind of degree, I believe, from New
It's
Zealand.
commercial pilot license.
Ah, okay. Victor, any idea on that?
Yeah, yeah. So just the question is, what is the actual question? So commercial pilots are they are in skill shortage here right now. New Zealand is looking for commercial pilots. So again, they have to follow the skill migration category point system. Otherwise, if like Air New Zealand, if they are like, I'll give you some clarity on that. Air New Zealand is the national airlines of New Zealand, and a couple of weeks ago they did a job seminar, and it was an open day. So they wanted to fill up the vacancy, so they did the open day and invited everybody just come over for a job interview. So this is the situation here. A lot of pilots and a lot of crew members and a lot of staff, as I said earlier, they have moved to Australia. We are losing a lot of pilots to Jet Airways and Jetstar, basically Jetstar Australia and Qantas. They are hiring a lot of people from New Zealand, so there is vacancy. And we did recruit some pilots, and we did their permanent residency applications, even from Buddha Air from Nepal. A lot of people from there, they applied here and they got the residency. So I would recommend to email me your CV, and then we can guide you further.
Thank you very much. This is very interesting. I wasn't aware about the pilots and what's the demand there, but yeah, this is very good to know. Guys, if at all you think Victor is answering all your questions, give him a thumbs up, and you can also drop a note as thanks, so that we know that our response is helping you. And the idea is to take as many questions as from you guys. So we are here, and also because I was not able to connect 10 minutes early, so I'll give you extra 10 minutes. I'll be here to support you guys, and then Victor is also here for another half an hour for sure. So don't
No
worry.
issue.
The questions coming at the bottom. So I'm going to take next question from. Uh, I don't understand your question, Maddie. Maddie is saying, are companies sponsoring work permits, visas now? If not, what is the start date for this? I really don't understand your question.
No, no issues. I'll explain that. So there was no restriction on companies to sponsor anyone. Earlier, the policies have been changing here. So earlier, the policy was essential skills work visa. And as the name suggests, essential skills. So there is a process called labor market testing. It means employers used to advertise a position, and there is a Ministry of Social Development where unemployed people go and register themselves. So employers were required to send the job to them as well and get a clearance that they don't have a suitably qualified employee for to fill that position. So that essential skill policy and other few policies of work visa, now they have all merged into one policy, which is called AEWV. And AEWV is Accredited Employer Work Visa, and that is exactly what we covered earlier. So a lot of employers, they already got their accreditation done and the job check done, and now they are on the market looking for the employees. I'll give you an example. Earlier, what used to happen, a small employer, a small restaurant owner, or a small construction company owner, or a concreting company, those who make driveways and other stuff, so they were not confident that they can hire workers from overseas. But now with this new policy, now they are accredited and they already have the approval to hire 5 people. So they applied for standard accreditation because they were small companies. Now they are also on the market, and we are already doing some visas from Philippines, and so visas are open. So to in nutshell, I think now I made myself very clear. The visa applications are open. Essential skills work visa was scrapped, and now this is the new policy under which people can apply for work visas directly, which is accredited employer work visa.
Thank you, Victor. I just wanted to let you know that I'm also live on Instagram, and from my phone, because I have not yet integrated. So I've kept my phone online here. So the guys on Instagram can also hear us. And there was a question from Instagram. Guys, this is on YouTube. So somebody asked me which channel it is. Just go to YouTube channel, Your Knowledge Buddy, and you'll find live me and Victor. So you can come and join me and ask all your questions. I'm unable to read all the questions from the Instagram now, but please join me on YouTube. So we'll try to take as many questions. Thank you. So going back to the question, so I saw one question from Amit, and Amit, I believe you have a high chance to get a PR directly in New Zealand based on whatever Victor has been explaining. So so Amit is saying he's 30 years of age, working in IT as a software developer, and wife is working as a business analyst. What are chances to immigrate to New Zealand or Australia? So I see a high chance, really high chance. Definitely give a try, and you can take help from Victor. I'll provide his links in my video description. All right. Good, Victor. So I'll move to the
Yes,
next.
sounds good.
Okay, so next question, I'm going to take something which we have not covered. Okay, so Vinay is asking, may
Mhm.
I know what is the scope for doctors in New Zealand and how tough is it for them to get PR?
Getting registration here as a doctor, that is a little bit tricky, but I can something. There is a new news at the moment. The immigration earlier used to ask for a provisional or full licensing, and now they have relaxed that rule, and they are in desperate and dire need for the doctors. So if you are a doctor, MBBS, if you have experience, you please share your CV with me, and I'll be able to guide you how to get here, and you can come here on a like directly work visa as well. A lot of the health department is under huge stress right now, and if you want to see a specialist, you might have to wait for 6 months. So this is the situation we are in right now, and we need to know more about your specialization. What do you do, and how many years of experience you have, and your English level, and then I can guide you further how you can come and work here.
Thank you, Victor. So now I'm going to pause for a minute and I'm going to take questions where people are talking about unskilled job. Of course, now we understand there are lots of jobs opportunities for people who have categorized themselves as skilled, yeah, and the
Mhm.
skills which are in shortage or in demand. But Victor, I also have audience for people who categorize themselves unskilled. I don't categorize them; they categorize them. So I have people who are into, say, driver, truck driving, hotel jobs, cleaner jobs, warehouse jobs. Any idea do you have in New Zealand, and do you see any chance for them to migrate?
Fine, guys, I'll give you some indication because, as I said earlier, I've been doing this for the last 11, 12 years. So I'll give you I've got plenty of years of experience and I've dealt with a lot of skilled and unskilled workers. So I'll give you very honest opinion that what sort of people we deal with. Number one, we deal with highly skilled people, those who have good English and a good number of years of experience, and they can directly apply for PR and they can get their residency. The second class of people we deal with is people those who have been working in the sales roles, banking, insurance, or other fields where you do not require a very highly specialist qualification, and an uneducated person or a less educated person can also do those roles, like a salesperson. Anyone can be a salesperson. You don't have to have a MBA in sales and marketing to do that particular job. So what we have been suggesting to those people, if you do not qualify for directly for the PR, because a lot of people we have dealt with, they are maybe age of 36, 38, 40, 45, 50, 53 up to. So if you have lost a lot of points for your age or for any reason, if you are not able to claim the enough points, then what we guide you, you speak to us, and there could be one option which we can recommend you is if your husband, wife, and couple of kids or three kids, whatever, your wife can come here and take up a program of 1.5 years to study a master's degree, and she will get part-time work rights, as well as you can get, like the spouse can get full-time work rights, and your children can get free education in New Zealand. So what's the meaning of that? How does it work? We look at this whole scenario in such a way that you have to come to the country, you will buy a car, you live, you take a house, you will buy food, everything. Living expenses will be there even if you come on a study visa, or even if you come on direct migration visa. So if you think you are not highly skilled, then don't lose your hope, don't lose your heart. Come here on a student plus spouse visa, which allows you to come here, work, and both of you will be on the market. If you find a job, full-time job, we can make you a principal applicant. Let your wife study, and you can be the principal applicant and apply for the job for the PR. And if your wife finishes her studies and then she got a job, we can make her principal applicant. She can apply for the family PR and the residency. Now, the third category, which we are, and one more thing, a lot of people think that education is very expensive. I would like to clarify here at the moment, if somebody is coming here and studying a master's program for 1.5 year, the fees is approximately 15 lakh rupees for the whole duration, 1.5 year. So if you are spending 15 lakh rupees in the fees, what we will get against that Your wife, if she's working part-time, she'll be able to make around $35,000 to $40,000. And if you're working full-time, you'll be able to make around $70,000 to $80,000 in the full-time work. So if you calculate, you are making around 50, 60, 70 lakh rupees by spending 15 lakhs on the education. So that is a route you should not miss if you think that you are unskilled and you're not able to crack the direct migration under the skill migration category even. Now the third category, which is a trade category. If you are a trades worker, if you're a plumber, electrician, bricklayer, then you need to follow the skill assessment route. We need to apply for a skill assessment, and then we have to get you under like with a job offer with the accredited employer. You can come here on a direct work visa because there is a huge shortage of the tradies. So you need to still register yourself. If you are a plumber, you need to register yourself with the body here. And all the tradies, if you have been an electrician, so there is an electrical works authority, you have to register yourself with the registration board over there. So we need to get into the details. We need to understand about about the details about your qualification. If you have done ITI, how many years of experience you have. So without proper information, I'll not be able to guide. So please share your details with the Sarika ma'am, and then I'll be able to guide you whichever pathway is the best for you.
Thank you, Victor. I have an objection. So you told me
Yes.
Sarika ma'am. No, I'm not Sarika ma'am. Please call me Sarika. Don't
All right,
embarrass
Sarika.
me.
Sorry about that.
No, please. I don't know why in India people think, making YouTube videos give you a title of sir or ma'am. Not at all. I'm just doing this in my free time, making videos and just kind of sharing my knowledge and then also helping people. So I don't think I should be getting a title of sir or ma'am. No, please.
That's
Sarika is
fine.
the name, right?
That's
And
fine, Sarika.
people who are younger to me, they call me Dee. I really like it. They call me Dee. And people who are elder to me call me just Sarika. Okay.
All right, great.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. Thank you very much. You have a very detailed explanation on everything. So, guys, there were plenty of questions regarding unskilled people. So, we have talked about it all together. So, I will not be now taking up one by one. And also, I see there are lots of questions about civil engineering till now. I've also pinned question from Rohit. There were more questions about civil engineering. We talked about civil engineering. It is already in shortage in New Zealand, and there's a huge chance for you to get move to New Zealand without a job offer, which Victor already talked about. And also there are lots of questions about IT. So guys, again, IT guys are always in demand, not only in New Zealand, all across the world. You can try any of the route which Victor already talked about, either the skilled one or the other three new categories of the visa which is announced. So you already have a huge chances to move to New Zealand on your existing skill sets. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a minute. So Victor, do you want to add anything about Rohit's question? Please consider about civil engineering. Anything do you want to add?
Fine. I'll explain you some details about the civil engineers. In New Zealand, there is a region called Canterbury. So Canterbury region is very much prone to the earthquakes, and there is a bigger city over there is the Christchurch, and Christchurch suffered a huge earthquake. I can't remember which year. So they suffered a huge earthquake, and because of that, what happened is a lot of buildings were cracked, and the whole city is redeveloped now, and a lot of construction is going on in that region. So especially for civil engineers, quantity surveyors, construction managers, project managers, and anybody like draftspersons, there is a huge demand in Canterbury region, and there is a special list for that, which is called Canterbury Skill Shortage List. So if you are looking for like civil engineering jobs, then there are regions mentioned in the Canterbury Skill Shortage List, that if you are, say, for example, a draftsperson or a drain layer or whatever, or a quantity surveyor, so you can apply under that. So the ideas or the options can be explorable according to your age and experience and your qualification, your bachelor's degree. If someone has a bachelor's degree in civil engineering or construction management, they can come here directly on the skill migration category is the one option. Second option, they can come here on the Canterbury skill shortage list work visas. And the third option for them, if somebody is a fresh graduate, I'll give you an example. If somebody has done maybe say just not even a bachelor's degree, just a diploma in a civil engineering or construction related field, then they can come here on a student visa and do a quantity surveying program, which is a level 6 program, which is of a duration of 2 years. Or there is a very nice and very popular program which a lot of our students have enrolled and they have successfully done it and got really good jobs. If somebody has done a bachelor's degree and they do not have enough experience from India and they still want to come here and settle down and apply for residency, then we have a program called Graduate Diploma in Civil Engineering, Specialization in Highway Engineering. So that is a fabulous program. As soon as you do that program, there is a straightaway employment waiting for you, and the most of the departments, they pick the graduates from the college. As soon as you finish your studies, you have a job offer and you are eligible for the residency. So again, there are different opportunities and different options available. If we have seen people, those who have construction and project management experience from Dubai, and they managed to get a job directly here and they are working. They are reputed companies like Fulton and Hogan. You can go to their site, you can go to their career section and you can register yourself. And these are the companies, those who have government contracts for the next 15 years, they are booked. So a lot of opportunities for civil engineers and construction people, construction managers.
Thank you, Victor. Guys, give a thumbs up to Victor. He had been responding so much with your question. Give us motivation that your questions are answered. And of course, I'm going to take one by one more questions as well. So the next question that I have pinned on my screen is about lawyers. So at least in the UK, I know if you have a lawyer's degree in India, you cannot come and practice with that. You need to study the law in that country, so in UK, and then only you can practice. So I believe it's the same, but I'm going to wait for Victor to reply.
Same situation, Sarika, you are absolutely right. If somebody is coming to New Zealand, they need to understand about the New Zealand law. And in New Zealand, there is a Treaty of Waitangi. So there was a treaty which was done between the New Zealanders, Maoris, and the Britishers. So that is a part of curriculum, which is a very, very important document. And lawyers have to come here and do some refreshers, which cover about their legal system, about the tribunals, about the justice system, about the legal aid, and all those sort of things. I have taught commercial law papers, so I'm pretty, because I studied immigration law as well. So I'm pretty familiar with the papers and all that. So it all depends on the overall profile. So again, I'll give an example. If somebody is a lawyer and they are not confident that they don't want to invest on a country and doing all these papers while sitting in India, they can take up a program, enter New Zealand on some other program as a student, and they can come here and do those papers simultaneously and then register themselves as a solicitor or barrister later on. That pathway is opened up for them.
Thank you very much, Victor. So there's a very good comment about you where someone is giving you a salute. SS Channel is saying, Victor's a big salute to you. Of course, Victor, thank you. You had been extremely helpful to our audience, and I can see the way you are explaining. I think it's quite helpful to everyone here. Guys, any more comments for Victor? Give him a thumbs up. He's talking nonstop for you guys. So if his answers are helping you, things are more clear to you, just give him thumbs up. I'm going to take question from Kritika in 1 minute. I see Kritika joined. Kritika is one of my regular subscribers. She keeps commenting because I have already pinned one comment, which is from Fly High, is asking about procurement manager. Any comments on that, please?
Procurement manager is also the same situation. We need to understand how many years of experience this person has, family dynamics, and education, and then only we can guide the option. If somebody is saying that, okay, they are looking for a direct job as a procurement manager, then they have to go and register themselves on the seek.co.nz and talk to the employers directly, and the recruitment HR companies are listed over there. So this is the pathway they have to take. If they want to know about the direct immigration, then we need to know more information to be able to comment on that.
Thank you very much, Victor. Okay, so my favorite girl is here, Kritika. So Kritika is asking, I know Kritika is trying for UK for a very long time, and because HR jobs are not in demand, like when I say in demand, they don't provide visa sponsorship for someone who is from India and they give a sponsorship. I've seen very rare cases where it's possible. I have few examples of students who are here and they had managed, and that also European students, not Indian students. So I know Kritika is trying for very long. So any chance do you see anyone from HR field can find a job or move to New Zealand?
Need to know more about her field. She is into recruitment, talent hunt, what she's been doing, how many years of experience she has, and with this new situation, which we are talking about in New Zealand, which is the accredited employer work visa, there could be opportunities for HR managers, which we can look into. But we need to see the CV of Kritika. So Kritika, I request you to please share your CV then, and need to know about your family dynamics. How many members are there in the family? How old are you? And then I'll be able to guide you what is the best possible option for you. And there is no harm in trying. We have seen people hiring people from abroad, overseas, so there could be some possibility. We can look into it.
Thank you very much. So, Kritika, I will be providing Victor's email ID in the video description. I'll also pin it here, and you guys can share your profile. You can share your profile and get input from him. Next question I have pinned is from Abhinav. Abhinav is saying, what is the scope for finance professional, particularly Indian CA? I just want to add one comment here. So, if you're an Indian CA with minimum 3 years of experience, you have a huge demand in the UK market. I've already interviewed two people on my channel with just 3 years of experience, and he was a fully qualified CA. He got job in the Big Four, so you can try UK as well. And in finance, if you have CA, CFA, CIMA, ACCA, ACA, if you have any qualification, 5 certification out of it, UK can be a good market for you. Now, over to you for New Zealand, Victor.
Yes, so Abhinav, for finance professionals, we have auditors, internal and external auditors in the long-term skills shortage list of New Zealand. So we need to know more about your experience as a CA. Have you been doing auditing, and how many years of experience you have as an auditor? And here in New Zealand, we have CPA, CPA Australia and CPA New Zealand. So we have to get the assessment done from CPA, and CA in India is recognized by the CPA in Australia and New Zealand. So what we need to do is get your assessment done, and there will be few papers they will ask you to complete, and then you can directly get the migration as a skilled migration or a work
Thank,
permit.
thank you, Victor. So the next question. So Eptism is saying, where can I find the list of occupation? So Eptism, I have created 2 videos on New Zealand, and in my video description, you'll find the links. I have also given a demo in my second video. So everything is provided in my video description with demo. You can check it out. And I believe you mean the critical list, or do you mean a different list? Or Victor, do you want to add
I
anything?
think Kritika is, sorry,
Eptism.
Aptism is asking about the green list. I think this is what she meant.
So critical, sorry, Eptism, do you mean green list, critical list, or which list? So for critical list of jobs regarding the 3 new visa category which was announced, I already have it on my video, in my video, along with the demo. But if you mean a different list, you can let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Now let's move to guys. Again, if Victor's answer is helping you, please give him a thumbs up. And I see people ask lots of questions, but they don't give a thumbs up at all. Guys, come on, don't be such miser. Okay, now let's talk about life science. Any idea? So Sanjeev is saying, please talk about life science. So I don't know, under life science, there are so many things under life science. It's such a broad topic. I don't know,
Yeah.
Sanjeev, anything particular you want to talk, or Victor, do you want to add anything under life
See,
science?
again, life science is a very like broad and very wide stream. So we need to understand when we talk about life sciences, is it talking about food technologist, or we are talking about something related to agricultural science? Life science is a very broad topic. So we need to understand again, Sanjeevji, about your overall profile and your family, your age. All these things matter, and number of years of experience, and what sort of experience, what field of life sciences you are involved in. We have viticulture here, we have wine science here, food science, we are milk producers, and huge, like Fonterra is the largest company here producing milk and milk products. So we need to understand what sort of domain of life sciences you belong to. Is it fisheries, or is it winery, or is it some related to food or medicine, biotechnology? We don't know.
Thank you very much, Victor. I have pinned this question because it was very similar. Because Ashutosh was asking also, please take question for medical devices, service industry, and life sciences. I don't know does it include, Victor?
Yeah, I think, Sarika, medical device service industry is if somebody is repairing dental chairs or medical radiology X-ray machines and
Uh-huh.
equipments. So medical device service industry could be that. So we need to again understand the number of years of experience as because it's a technical field. So there could be machinist or what sort of domain of experience the applicant has. We need to understand the profile better. But yes, there are opportunities and there are employers. They are in dire need of technically qualified people, those who can repair the machine and service the machines.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. There's a question from, let me just pin it on my screen. So,
Teaching jobs. Somebody asked about the teaching jobs as well.
oh, yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, I had already pinned that. Yes, about teaching jobs. Can we talk about the teaching jobs first and then
Yeah.
I'll involve?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. So teaching's job is a very, very good area to come here and work. So in teaching, we have different streams. So teaching starts with the first is ECE. ECE is early childhood education, and for that you need to have a teacher's registration. So teacher registration is given to people those who have done a graduate diploma in teaching, specialization in early childhood teaching, or if somebody has done a bachelor's of teaching and specialization in early childhood teaching. So with these qualifications, or if someone has done masters in teaching, specialization in ECE, they will be able to apply for a teacher's registration with the Teachers Council of New Zealand, and then they can apply for the residency because this profile falls into the green list and it's a skill shortage area in New Zealand. So if someone doesn't have much experience, or if someone has done a BA and BEd from India, Bachelor of Education, and they don't have much experience, then you need that bachelor's degree plus you need to have seven each in IELTS or PTE. Then you can come here and do a program of graduate diploma in teaching, and straight away you will have a pathway towards the teacher registration, and you can get your family here when you're done with the studies, and you can apply for the residency with a job offer. So that was about the teaching.
Thank you, Victor. So before I take the question from Film World, I can see Vignesh, you are sending your question. And then again, we already talked about IT a lot. So I want to focus on other jobs and already said, you already have a good experience, 6 years and all in Java. You have a good chance. You can reach out to Victor. You can go through the different route, either through the skilled route or the three new categories. So I've already covered about IT. So I'm trying to focus on those categories which we have not covered so that I give importance to them as well, not talking about the same topic. Thanks for understanding. So, question from Film World is about I'm a food technologist with 5+ years of experience. I check lots of vacancies, but they are not offering COS. COS means certificate of sponsorship. Food technologies have any future there? Anything, Victor,
Yes, we as I have already covered. I don't check the food technologist jobs every day, but what you can do is you can register yourself on the seek.co.nz or trademe.co.nz. That's also a job site. So you can register yourself over there, and you can have some job alerts and see the vacancies. Guys, I would like to mention here something from my so many years of experience. I can just share one thing with you. If you have been trying and you're not getting much success in directly getting employment while sitting in India, and your age is going up and you have been waiting for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, or 12 or 15 years, then I think it is a time to take the call. Like if one door is not open, there could be other doors can be opened for you. So I think this is the right time to get yourself assessed. Share your details with us, and we will be offering you a free assessment that if plan A is not working out, what is the plan B for you. A lot of employers, they are skeptical. They want to see the person, they want to understand your profile and see your work ethics, and then want to offer a job. They feel scared because here labor laws are very strict. If they hire somebody from overseas, they have to meet all the obligations, and it's just how we can make them introduced to you in a better way, so we can find out the ways how we can put you as a good applicant in front of the employers. And sometimes some references do work. So because we are based here, so we have good links. We have a lot of candidates, those who got the residency through us, so they are working in different fields. So once we are analyzing your profile, we might be able to guide you to contact this so and so person, and that might give you a job opportunity.
Thank you, Victor. I'm smiling because I read a comment where Eptisam is saying, I want to hire Mr. Victor. You got your client here.
Yeah, guys, this video is all about this webinar is all about helping each other. This is only about sharing the knowledge, and I'm proud that I can share some knowledge with you. And if I can make a little bit of difference in your life, I think that's the achievement of my learning. And I think Sarika is doing the fabulous job in doing the same thing.
Thank you. So at the moment, I believe 89 people are happy with us based on what your response was, but there are still people who are not happy because I can see 89 people is liking our comment because they had given us a thumbs up. So guys, tell us why you are upset and if there is more questions that we need to take. I have pinned one comment here and I don't know what is MEP. So Sheikh is saying, what is the scope for MEP engineer in New Zealand? Kindly discuss. What is MEP? Do you know that, Victor? I don't
No,
know. Sheikh, can you tell us in the comment what is MEP?
a mechanical engineer.
Is it mechanical engineering? If you mean in mechanical, we already talked about civil and mechanical. I believe it's the same scope. But let us know in the comment. I will definitely take your question, Sheikh, before we go. It's already 5 past 12 in the UK. We are going over time, but I'll just take a couple of more questions, Victor. I hope it's okay with you as well.
It's
Just
okay with me. I would like to just say one thing to our audience. Audience, you might find my comments and things they are not that they're not making you happy because I will be talking about the reality. I don't want to give you false hopes. I don't want to tell that even if you don't have any skills, you will get directly a residency. We are not those sort of agents. We are licensed by the government of New Zealand and government of Australia, and we are bound by the code of conduct. We do not promise any visas guarantee. We do not promise that fake promises that okay, just give us some money and we will apply for your PR. We don't do all that. We are here to guide you and to tell you about the reality of the professionals, whatever job opportunities are there, and you will find our comments. Whatever I'm saying here, it's all black and white. It's written on the immigration website, and there is no gray area basically. So if you are not happy with something, please tell us so that we can put more light for you on this. Don't worry about the time. I'm here to answer your queries, and it's my job to satisfy you with your answer with the question and answers. So Sarika, so this is the point which I wanted to make, that it's a black and white basically. They need to understand, because when I meet a lot of people, those who have been waiting for a lot of years. They wasted a lot of time and energy and efforts and money, and they have been preparing for IELTS or PT, scoring 8 band each, and they are not sure even how and under which policy they are qualifying.
yeah.
So here we are doing the basic step today to lay the foundation first of all, to understand what you need to go through and how will you qualify to get the direct residency, or a different route is suitable for you, or a work visa is suitable for you.
Yeah. And just to let you know, Victor, so the videos that I make, I show the ground reality, even though it may not go down very well with everyone, because I don't want to make any fake
Yes.
videos or give false hope to people. I
Yes.
try to show as much as the reality as possible. And people know if they want to move to any particular country, they have to upskill themselves if at all their skill sets are not matching to that country. So if you have a desire, of course, everybody need to work hard. Yeah. So when Victor moved to New Zealand, he also worked hard there. He did not move there as a solicitor or lawyer. He
Yep.
studied there. He built his own thing from zero. So everybody have to start somewhere. If at all, whatever is your current degree, skill sets, if it's not matching to the country you want to migrate, first of all, make a goal for yourself. What is the thing that you want to do? And then backtrack it. Which country there's a demand? If there's no demand, try to see is there any similar kind of job you can do, and then can you do any kind of job related certification, because at least in UK and Europe, I'm going to tell you, the more certifications you have, better are your chances to be shortlisted here. The degrees really doesn't matter here. UK is not a degree based market, it's an experience based market. The more experience and the certification for that particular job will definitely land you job in the UK and Europe market. That's my definitely advice. Victor, anything about this mechanical, plumbing, firefighting? I have no idea about it.
Yes, yes, yes. Now I understand this. This is the plumbing firefighting, which I think most of the buildings and the new construction which is happening in any country nowadays. they have to have the plumbing for firefighting, and all the apartments, they have sprinkler systems. And this is, I think, what a Sheikh does. Mechanical plumbing firefighting is putting fire hydrants, so that fire brigade can come and they can connect their pipes, and they can put out the fire. And it's a very interesting field. And just like last month, I spoke to one of our past clients, and he has opened a company here. He has done the same field. He's an engineer in the same field, and he's a designer. So he called me and we spoke about it. So it's a really good combination. So please share your CV with me, and I will check with this student of ours, and if he can help you, because he's a boss, he's a owner of this company. And what this company does is they provide design for these commercial outfits, commercial buildings, and they provide them solutions for the firefighting.
Thank you very much, Victor. Okay, so guys, I'm going to take just maybe one more question, and I have to let Victor go because it's really late in New Zealand, and he need to have his proper sleep. And I don't want to disturb his sleep. It's already night in New Zealand. Just one last question I'm going to take, and then I'm going to say thanks and goodbye to Victor. Victor, last question from Nina. I'm
Perfect.
IMH. I don't know what is IMH. Returned from New Zealand on 2015. I didn't complete my diploma. Um, business 5, and I come back my own by my own
That's
concern. Can
right.
I
Can I
apply
apply?
again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got the question. I got the meaning of that.
yeah,
So
okay.
Nina, I would like to understand your profile even better. So I need to understand in under what circumstances you went back, and what's your current scenario. So the visa success for your case will depend upon your activity, what you have been doing since 2015 to till date. You have already proved that you are a genuine bona fide temporary entrant, that you entered the country and you didn't try to become illegal in the country, and you left it on your own accord in your good faith. So we need to understand your activity in the last 7 years, and we need to understand about your family dynamics. And as like a diploma in business level 5 is the first year of graduation basically, or because the pathway is level 5 diploma, and then the advanced diploma level 6, and the third year is bachelor's degree. So if you have completed a bachelor's degree after you return to India, we need to understand that. Then we can guide you what's your next pathway. And if you have gained some experience, then we can guide you. And if you haven't done anything since 2015, then we can guide you accordingly. We need to understand more about you, about your activity since you returned to India. Thanks.
Thank you, Victor. I thought that is going to be the last question, but I
That's
see there
fine.
were so many
That's
people
fine,
saying.
Sari. That's all right.
Okay, so there were so many hands, folded hands from Aziz. Yeah, I couldn't just say no to him. So,
Yeah.
Victor, any words or comments on the banking job, please?
Yes. So the comment about banking job is that in New Zealand we do not have any banking qualification specifically, and most of the business graduates or applied management graduates, they can do business banking and all banking related profiles. And there is a new law which came in, which is triple CA, something like that. Triple CA, which is about the banking infrastructure and the banking system. So if you can enroll for that particular program, triple CA, then what will happen is you can apply to financial bodies. So when we say banking, if you have experience in the overseas banks, then what we can do here in New Zealand, we have different scenarios. We have few which are major banks like Westpac, ANZ, ASB, and BNZ. If you try to crack these banks, it might be a little bit hard, but there are a lot of financial companies like GE Finance or Q Card. There are plenty of financial companies, those who are offering small, like there are tiers of banking, basically banks. So first tier bankings are the major banks, and then the second tier lenders and the third tier lenders, car finance. So you will have opportunities if you go online on the Seek and register yourself or share your CV with me. I'll be able to guide you. Do not just depend on the banking job. You can come here even as a debt collector. So there is a company called Veda Advantage. So there are plenty of fields which are matching your profile and matching your experience. So we need to understand more about your experience and your nature of profile in the banking sector. What have you been doing exactly in the bank? So if we don't even get the opportunity in the bank, still we can get you here on the accredited employer work visa as a debt collector or a finance officer, loan officer, a documents officer, contracts administrator. Plenty of opportunities are there. You might be doing hire purchase approvals for somebody. So you have studied, you have done some work in the banking sector. So there are plenty of jobs which we can target.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you very much. So, Aziz, I believe you are happy now, and I see your comment as well that you are my regular follower as well. Thank you. Thank you for trusting us with the content and the suggestion and advice that we are providing. So, Victor, at least I can say 109 people liked your advice, suggestion, and guidance. So, they had given us a thumbs up. Guys, again, if you think Victor helped you, 110 people now thinks we helped you. So, we got 110 thumbs up today. So, thank you very much. And of course, there are more people who are asking for your contact. So, guys, the moment I'll put this live on the video, I will provide all the details of Victor. So, just bear with me. And then also, I've connected on Instagram as well. There are lots of questions on Instagram, which I'm not going to take, but I'm going to tell people to go back to YouTube. And because we have almost covered all the kind of topics and the different kind of professions as well. And I see a lot of question about cost of living in New Zealand. Guys, we should leave something for the future as well. We cannot keep everything in the same topic, but in the future we'll think of what do we cover about New Zealand. You can let us know in the comment section as well what do you want to cover, what Victor can help you with. If you want to talk about any profile, we can divide like 2 or 3 profiles we can talk about, or we can talk about the points calculator which Victor was talking about. If you want a little demo or do something, we can have those discussions. So like always, make sure you leave your comment below and we will get back to you, and Victor's details will be provided in the video description along with the pinned comment. So wait for another 10 to 15 minutes and I will do that. Yes, Victor, please.
Sarika, I would like to just mention one thing for our audience because they have been really patient. They have been listening to our comments and our discussion. So, just one last thing for them.
Yes.
There is a policy in New Zealand. If somebody has been planning to come to New Zealand and they're not sure how they can come here, or they're not qualifying or in any policy, but they want to come here and work full time. And there is a great policy. If you come to New Zealand to do a master by research program, okay, it's a 2-year program, master by research, and you don't have to go to the college regularly on that because you are more working on the thesis and your dissertation. So if you do that program, then husband and wife both are allowed to work full time during the studies, and kids can get free education. And after the program, they get 3 years of post study work visa as well. So that's a great opportunity. If somebody wants to come here and within 5 years they want to apply for permanent residency, then that program is also a really good one.
Oh, good. Awesome. That's nice to know. Thank you. So what I'm doing now, Victor, I have just kind of pinned some comments where you got lots of hearts today. And I
Thank
can
you.
definitely tell you, Eptisum is really happy with your comments. Now I see even Aziz is very happy with your comments. Yeah. And lots of more people. So I believe this session was really helpful for a lot of people there. And Victor, I cannot say you thank you enough. Thank you for doing this late night. And thank you for being patient with my audience as well and answering all the questions. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you very much, Sarika. You have been a great host today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you,
providing.
guys. Wish you all the best for your residency journey. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.